Welcome back to part 2 of the 20 troy ounce monster bar. And what I'm doing here is evaporating this solution down. You can see there's still some fumes in there, and it's going to take a long time to evaporate this much liquid down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try an experiment here. I've got some gold powder, and I'm going to grab a little bit of this gold powder in a little scoop here, and I'm going to add it to this solution. And what we're trying to do here is to consume the excess nitric that's in here. And so I'm going to add this gold powder in and just see what happens. Here we go. Oh yeah, look at that. There's a ton of excess nitric in there. So I'm just going to keep adding small doses of gold to this until all of the excess nitric gets consumed, and then we can proceed. And I've got the gold powder here, so we're just going to keep adding this a little bit at a time until no more gold will go into solution. Excess hydrochloric acid in our chloroauric acid solution is not a problem, but excess nitric is a big problem, because if there's excess nitric in here when we go to precipitate this gold, and chances are high that there's going to be a whole bunch of excess nitric in here, because I used almost 600 milliliters of nitric acid to get that solid chunks of gold to go into solution. So if we try to precipitate this gold with all that excess nitric in there, we guarantee to have problems boiling over. Other metals, if present, will come down with the gold, which there shouldn't be any in there, because this is high purity gold. I'm going to add another little spoon here. The gold that I'm adding is starting to hang around in there a little longer now, but you can see I still have some fumes going on, and the reaction will stall if we don't have the proper amount and strength of hydrochloric acid in there. So what I'm going to do is add about a little bit of hydrochloric acid to freshen it up in there. What is that? 200 milliliters. To make sure that we continue to consume that excess nitric acid, or the nitric acid. We're trying to get rid of the nitric acid out of here, so that when we go do the precipitation, we won't have any problems. Here we go. We're going to add another fat spoon of pure gold powder. And it's still reacting, still consuming nitric. By adding that fresh hydrochloric acid, now we're starting to dissolve the gold a little quicker. So what we'll do is get in here and add some more of this. As long as that gold is dissolving, that means we've got excess nitric in there, and we're trying to get rid of that excess nitric. See how the hydrochloric acid that I added freshened it up, and now it's dissolving gold again fast? Before it was just kind of hanging around. If that hydrochloric acid gets expended, then the reaction will stall. Oh yeah, we're still putting gold in solution big time here. So that means we still got a whole bunch of excess nitric in there. Alright, that's it. I've added every bit of pure gold powder that I had to try to consume that excess nitric. I've got the solution evaporated down to about 600 milliliters of liquid, and there's probably about 22 troy ounces of pure gold in 600 milliliters of liquid. I'm going to put in some hydrochloric acid. Let's see what happens here. And this is supposed to drive off the excess nitric acid, rehydrating it with hydrochloric acid. Let's just try pouring some of this hydrochloric acid in here. Just pour it straight in and see what's going to happen. All right. As you can see, I've got it evaporated back down. I'm going to add a little bit of hydrochloric acid and see what happens here. The fumes have cleared up in there finally, which tells me that I think we've got all of the excess nitric out of here now. Spattering gold everywhere in there. Let's try to pour this in and rehydrate the solution real slow with some hydrochloric acid. I think I'm going to turn the heat down on this thing too. In fact, I'm going to turn the heat off. I'm just adding hydrochloric acid to rehydrate the chloroauric acid solution. And I don't see a whole bunch of fume production going on. So it's a safe bet to conclude that we've driven the excess nitric out of this solution now. This last little bit in here. Now that I have all the excess nitric removed from our chloroauric acid solution and we've rehydrated with hydrochloric acid, I'm going to reach over here and we're going to pull this down. Oh, wow, that thing, that's heavy, man. I can tell that this amount of liquid should not weigh as much as it does. I carefully set it over here and let it cool off for a little while. I'm getting set up to do a little experiment here. I'm pouring some hydrochloric acid into a clean beaker, the same size, shape, and dimensions as the beaker that contains our chloroauric acid solution. I have two identical beakers with the same exact amount of liquid in each one, as close as I can get anyway. And this one's going to be hydrochloric acid. This one will be our chloroauric acid solution with about 22 troy ounces of pure gold in it. And the question is, will the beaker with the gold dissolved in that solution be heavier than the same volume of liquid with no gold dissolved in it? Let's move this back out of the way, and I'll pull our scale up here, and let's take a look at this scale. See if we can read that thing. 0 grams. Now I'm going to weigh the beaker. It's got no lid on it. I'm going to weigh the beaker on this scale with the gold solution in it and see what kind of weight we got. Looks like 2,400. So we'll write that right here, 2,400 grams. Now let's get the weight of this beaker that just has the same exact volume, as close as we can get, of hydrochloric acid with no gold in it. 1,636 grams. Alright, that's 1,636. So we've got 2,400 with this beaker. Subtract 1,636 from this beaker. That's 764 grams difference in weight between a beaker that has plain hydrochloric acid with no gold in it and our chloroauric acid solution that has about 22 troy ounces of gold dissolved in aqua regia. I've allowed this gold solution to cool a little. So what we're going to do now is we're going to transfer the solution from this beaker got all the gold down inside this beaker. Let's get this one out of the way. Let's go ahead and get ready to filter this now. And lovely, we just caused the filter paper to fail for some reason. See where it failed? Right there and right there. So now we're going to have to tear this all apart and start all over. Using a different style filter this time, thicker. Look how cloudy that is. That was unexpected. get some of this down in there. Let me see if I got a monitor here. Keep the ice from splashing into our filter. Got all the solution pulled through for a first pass for everything. Now what we'll do is pour this solution back through the same filter for a second pass. Try to get some of this cloudiness out of here. Ran out of room in that flask, so I had to put a new flask in here. Get our funnel out of the way. Cleared up nicely for us. That second pass, or actually the third pass, through the same filter. Solution looks a lot better. Stannous test before we precipitate the gold, just to show that we've got gold in solution. Here we go. We're going to add some stump out. This is sodium metabisulfite. Just going to start putting this stuff in. I don't know how much it's going to take. I'm going to count the spoons I'm putting in. This is the first one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Let's see what that does for us. Oh yeah, look at that gold building up on the bottom of the beaker down there. That's a thick pile of gold building up down on the bottom of the beaker. Wow. Let's get in here with a stirring rod and give this a stir. I'm gonna add some more stump out. Tell it's still got some color going on. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Let's see here. 27, 28, 29. That's 30 spoons. 31, 32, 33. We got some white foam. 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40 spoons of sodium metabisulfite so far. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, guarantee you there's still gold in solution here. That solution's heated up and dissolved all the ice or melted all the ice. Still got a little gold in solution, but not a whole lot. I'm going to get in here and put some ice in here to cool it down. Let's give this another stir. Look at that beautiful gold powder down there on the bottom, man. That looks gorgeous. I think we still got a little bit of gold in solution. So I'm going to add a few more spoons of this stump out. Not a whole lot. Alright, that's 50, count them, 50 spoons of stump out. Man, that gold looks beautiful. It really looks good. Nice and clean. Okay, this went better than I expected. It's already starting to settle out. I think what we'll do here, it's getting late. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. This will conclude part 2 of the 20 ounce Monster Bar refining series of videos. We'll pick this up with part 3 first thing in the morning. Alright, this will conclude part 2. Thank you for watching.